Dear students of ICC 2022, this is my fourth video. In this video, I will cover Unit 3 User Defined Method. This video will be, the total topic will be divided into two videos. This is the first part of User Defined Method. So let me start. I start with fill in the blanks. Number 1, a small segment of a program from the main function which is used again and again is called function, which is the fill in the blanks, or method, which is another fill in the blanks. Question number 2, a method, which is number 1 fill in the blanks, or function, second fill in the blanks, is a program module used simultaneously at different instances in a program to perform a specific task. Question number 3, a method or functions. So method is the fill in the blanks and the function is the fill in the blanks, reuses the segment of class codes as and when necessary by simple using the member name. Question number 4, the header of the method contains access specifier, first part, return type, second part, method name, third part, and the final part is the parameter list. Question number 5, access specifier can be explicitly set as either public, private, or protected. Question number 6, the list of variables with their respective data types required by the function for internal computation passed during a method call, and it is called parameter list. Question number 7, a statement that sends back the value from a method to its caller program is known as return statement. Question number 8, return statement is also known as function terminator because that is the last statement of a function, and from there it returns to the part from where it was called. Question number 9, no statement in a method can be executed after the return statement. I think you have gone through this part very carefully. Question number 10, the process of using a method in a program is called calling or invoking the method. Question number 11, the parameters described in the method header used to receive the values from its caller are called formal parameters, and the value actually passed to the method at the time of its call are known as actual parameters. Now I come to question number 12 now. Pure functions are also called accessor methods. Question number 13, designing a number of functions with the same name but different numbers or types of parameters is said to be function overloading. Question number 14, function overloading is an example of Java principle known as polymorphism. Now the next type of question I will come is true and false. Number 1, a function for the user can be regarded as a black box that is capable of returning an output or not, that is void, and the answer is true. Question number 2. Methods and functions display low level inner code to the user, and the answer is false. Question number 3. A method or function merges a complex computation task with other such task. The answer is false. Question number 4. Method signature is the identification of a method. The answer is true. Question number 5. A public function is restricted from use by a source outside the class function. The answer is false because it is not restricted. It can be used by any function for that particular class. Question number 6. A public function can also be accessed by members of the same class. The answer is false. Question number 7. An empty parameter list indicates that the method does not receive any value during its call. The answer is true. Question number 8. The statements in the body of a method or the method block is enclosed by square bracket. The answer is false because it should be enclosed within first bracket, open and close. Question number 9. The return statement is applied at the end of method. The answer is true. Question number 10. The control can return to a method even after it exits without needing to invoke the method. The answer is false because when you call a function, then only it will return to that place from where it was called. Question number 11. Passing argument to a methods using both pass by value and reference method is the same. The answer is false because pass by value, the concept is different, and pass by reference, the concept is absolutely different. So thus it is false. Question number 12. Pure function does not changes the state of an object. The answer is true. Question number 13. Function overloading is the process of defining functions or methods with same function names but with different numbers and types of parameter. The answer is true. Now we will come to the MCQ type question. Number 1. This is a block of code capable of accepting one or more inputs as its parameter by returning, within bracket it is written or not, that is void, a single output, and the answer is function method. Question number 2. The general structure of a method, and the answer is access specifier followed by return type, then method name, and you should have a parameter list. Question number 3. The first line of the method is called as method header or prototype. Question number 4. These deal with the scope of usage of a function or a method. The answer is access specifier. Question number 5. The data type used before the method name in the method header indicating the type of values the method returns. The answer is return type. Question number 6. This type of function has to be return some value. The answer is computational functions. Question number 7. This type of function can return a success or failure information by outputting 0 or 1 respectively. The answer is manipulative function. Question number 8. This type of function takes some inner action but does not return any output value and is defined with return type which is procedural function. Question number 9. The number of values that can be returned from a method using the return statement, and the answer is 1. Question number 10. This type of method can only use static elements in its block. The answer is static method. Question number 11. A function which returns a value to its caller module is called pure function. So the answer is pure function. Question number 12. This type of method changes the state of an output. The answer is input method or input mute function. So that comes an end of this particular video's first part. Now I will be discussing the second part in this video. So now this is the second set of unit 3 user defined method. So the first question is, a program module used simultaneously at different instances in a program to perform a specific task is known as method or function. Number 2. The first line of a method, the answer is header. Number 3. A function for the user can be regarded as black box. So black is the answer. Number 4. A method signature is written by using the method name along with dash to be specified to the method. The answer is parameters. Number 5. Access specifiers deal with dash of usage of a function. The answer is scope. Question number 6. When no access specifier is mentioned, by default Java accepts the function under the dash specifier within its own package boundary. The answer is public. Question number 7. A folder or directory containing a number of defined classes form a dash. The answer is package. Question number 8. The data type used before the method name in the method header. The answer is return type. Question number 9. In case a method does not return a value, its return type is mentioned as void. Question number 10. A manipulative function can return success or failure information by outputting dash respectively. So it can be either 0 or it can be either 1. Question number 11. The list of variables with their respective data type required by the function for internal computation. The answer is parameter list. Question number 12. An empty dash indicates that the method does not receive any value during its call. The answer is parameter list. Question number 13. A set of statements of the function body which are enclosed within a pair of curly bracket is known as method block. Question number 14. A statement which sends back the value from a method to its caller program is known as return statement. Question number 15. No statement in the method can be expected after dash statement. The answer is return. Question number 16. A function which have more than one termination points required a number dash statement to terminate the method from a specific point. The answer is return. Question number 17. A process of using a method in a program is referred to dash a method. The that is calling method. Question number 18. The parameters described in the method header used to receive values from its caller are called formal parameter. And question number 19. The value actually passed to the method at the time of its call are known as, the answer is actual parameter. Question number 20. The process of passing a copy of actual parameter to the formal parameter, the answer is pass by value. Question number 21. A process of passing the reference of actual parameter to the formal parameter, the answer is pass by reference. Question number 22. Passing elements using call by reference gives rise to change in dash reference, the answer is parameter. Question number 23. A function which returns a value to its caller module is called a dash function, the answer is pure. Question number 24. A pure function doesn't change the dash of an object, the answer is state. Question number 25. A method which changes the state of an object is called impure function. Question number 26. A function with many definitions is called function overloading. Question number 27. A function designed in such a way that it calls itself in the body is called recursive function. Question number 28. In function overloading, the name of methods are same. How are they distinguished? The answer is by determining number of arguments mainly. Question number 29. How are they distinguished when the number of arguments in both functions are same? So, in 28 it has said that by determining the argument, but it may happen that you may have same number of argument, then how does it determine? So, 29, the answer is by determining data type of the argument. I can give you one example. Suppose you have made a function called area, and that is for the square. So, if you you will be passing only one argument, so you take it as int. Similarly, for circle, the name of the function will be area, and you have to pass the radius. So, instead of taking again int, you have to write down either float or double. Then, though both the function is having one argument, but it is being distinguished by the data type. Question number 30, it is basically a predict the output. So, you have a snippet out here, and you have to predict the output if 14 is passed. So, in n if you pass 14, then what should be the answer? So, it should give you the answer as 1, 2, 7. Now, this type of question, what you should do, you should take a paper and you should do a dry run, and after solving the dry run, you will come to know what should be the answer. Never try to do this by memorizing or by using your memory. Always take a piece of paper and make a dry run of the predict the output, and you will be 100% sure that you will give the correct answer. Same thing with question number 31. Again, a snippet is given out here, and it is telling that predict the output if 17 is passed and 4 is passed. So, A will have 17 and B will have 4. Again, do a dry run of this particular snippet, and you will see that you will get an answer as 1. Question number 32 is, again you can see one snippet is given out here, and it is telling that when you pass the output k, then what should be the answer? The answer will be 107. Question number 33, you can see that again a snippet is given out here, and it is telling that if you pass Amit, with the help of x and Aman with the help of y, what should be the output? Here a small mistake has taken place. The answer, instead of Aman, it will be Amit. Again I tell you that whenever you have a predict the output, do a dry run, complete the dry run, and you will get 100% answer. So this is the second set of this particular video. I will come to the third set now, which will be the last set of this particular video. I hope my previous video was helpful for everybody. Do inform your friends who are also candidate of ICSE 2022 and will be appearing for this mock examination in November 2021, which is starting from 15th. So wait for the third and the last set for this particular topic, Unit 3, User Defined Function. Now I will discuss about the last set for this particular video. So I start with fill in the blanks. Number 1, defining method standards for creating a complete dash of a method. The answer is structure. Question number 2, the dash return type, method name and list of parameters. The answer is access specifier. Question number 3, method header is also referred to as method dash. The answer is prototype or function prototype. Question number 4, the dash checks the compatibility of passed and received parameters during every evocation of a method and reports error of mismatch. The answer is compiler. Question number 5, dash is basically identification of a person. The answer is signature. Question number 6, it signifies a method that is to be invoked for a dash. The answer is specific operation. Question number 7, a dash is written by using name along with the parameters to be passed to the method. The answer is method signature. Question number 8, method names contains the appropriate method from its called. The answer is program. Question number 9, access specifiers deal with the scope of usage of a function. It can be either, there are 3 dash with a or in between type. The first part is private, second fill in the blanks is protected, and the last one is private. Question number 10, a public function can be accessed by any source even from dash. The answer is external class functions. Question number 11, the protected specifier is mainly concerned with dash. The answer is inherited class types. Question number 12, when no access specifier is mentioned, by default Java accepts the function under public specifier within its own dash. The answer is package boundary. Question number 13, dash contains a number of defined classes from a package. The answer is a folder or directory. Question number 14, it is the data type used before the method name in the method dash. The answer is header. Question number 15, it indicates type of outcome of a method to be returned to its dash. The answer is caller. Question number 16, in case a method does not return any value, its return type is mentioned as void that represents a dash. The answer is non-returnable method. Question number 17, a function can be classified according to its dash. The answer is internal activities. Question number 18, dash can return success or failure informed by 0 or 1 respectively. The answer is a manipulative function. Question number 19, dash takes some inner action but does not return any output value and is thus defined with the return type void? The answer is a procedural function. Question number 20. Each method includes a name with it is dash. The answer is identified. Question number 21. It is list of variables with their respective data type required by the function for internal computation passed during dash. The answer is method call. Question number 22. A statement that sends back value from a method to its caller program is known as dash. The answer is return statement. Question number 23. A process of using a program is referred to as dash. The answer is calling a method or invoking a method. Question number 24. A dash can use only static elements in its block. The answer is static method. Question number 25. A parameters described in the method header used to receive the values from its caller are called dash. The answer is formal parameters. Question number 26. The values actually passed to the method at the time of its call are known as dash. The answer is actual parameter. Question number 27. The dash is empty means the caller does not pass any value from callers. The answer is parenthesis. Question number 28. Dash by reference of actual parameters is passed to the formal parameters. The answer is pass. Question number 29. A reference address points to the data and not the actual data value is put within dash. The answer is parameter slot. Question number 30. This is the last question. A function which returns a value to its caller module is called a dash. The answer is pure function. So thus we come to the end of this particular video. So I have discussed 3 sets. In the next video I will be discussing about 2 sets for unit 3 user defined method. If you have not subscribed my channel, please subscribe my channel, because module number 2 and 1 I will be making several videos out of it. And please tell your friends who are also candidate of ICC 2022 and will be appearing for this MCQ question exam to be held in November 2021. I hope my videos are helpful for you all, and I presume that as I am giving so many solved answers, it will help you quite a lot for your forthcoming examination. Thank you very much. See my videos that will be coming for other units. Again I repeat, the next video will be on final part of unit 3 user defined method, and please convey or share my video to your friends who are also candidate of ICC 2022.